Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk about calf strains and why they sometimes just do not want to heal. I'll give you some advice to help you get over that bump. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Maryke. I'm one of the physiotherapists from sportsinjuryphysio.com, where you can get online physiotherapy assessment as well as treatment for your sports injuries. So have a look at the description of this video if you want a link to our website. Now, I've previously made a video about recurring calf strains and why that sometimes happens. And in that video, I discussed things like neural tension that can sometimes cause recurring calf strains, strength training, return to running, and all of those reasons. But I thought it was time to make an updated video because since that video, lots of people have contacted me and said, oh, have a look at me. Why is my calf strain not healing? And by far, the most common reason has been because they've just not strengthened it to a high enough level to be able to do their sports. And then when they've gone back to the sport, they've not introduced it slowly enough. So let me give you a few more guidelines with regards to that. If we think of what happens when you strain your calf, now call it a pulled muscle, call it a calf strain, call it a calf tear, each of that term really it means that a part of your calf muscle has torn. So some of the fibers have torn and now the muscle as a whole is not as strong as it could be. So in order for you to get back to your sport, those torn fibers has to be replaced with new fibers, and then those new fibers has to be strengthened up to the level that you need for your sport. So remember, those fibers that you tore were pretty strong. You've given it weeks and weeks or months and months and months or maybe even years of training on them. Now the new little fibers that's forming are little weeny things. They're just new fibers and they need to go through a process of being strengthened to get to the level the ones were that you tore. So the first step in making a really good comeback to running is, and if you don't want a recurrence, is to really strengthen it up. Now, a lot of the people I speak to have been doing heel raises, 3 sets of 10, maybe over a step, maybe with a backpack on their backs, but they've only stuck to the same type of exercise the whole time, or they've just built up to 3 sets of 10 and then went for a run again because they've been told, okay, you've built your calf strength up. Now, when we run, force is equal to between 3 and 6 times our body weight goes through our calf muscles. So you can see how 3 sets of 10 of your body weight is not going to do it for that calf muscle. So you have to really build up to using quite heavy weights. And again, I tend to aim with my patients to, depending on the person, of course, depending on how your fitness levels and things and how trained you are, we want to go to about 20%, a weight equal to about 20% of your body weight. So for me, I'm 70 kilos. That would be roughly 14 kilos I want to eventually use with my heel raises. And depending on which part of the muscle I've injured, I may get them to do their heel raises in different ways. So there are plenty of ways to play with a heel raise to target a specific part of that calf. But then, wonderful, you've ticked that box. Now you've got to introduce the running. So running is a lot, because we load the calf quickly, the force is much higher. So loading a calf slowly versus loading a muscle quickly increases the force that goes through it. So when you go back to running, you should view it as an extension of your strength training. So you can't just go into continuous running 5K because your muscle may get halfway and go, wait a minute, chap, you haven't given me the endurance for this. We need to actually get the endurance first. So doing a run-walk program and getting back to full running over a couple of, well, several weeks sometimes, is a much safer approach to that because each run-walk session counts as strength training for that calf. And usually it's good that while you're doing your strength training and not running yet, you add in some walking to help kind of get that, bridge the gap between going from not running to running. While I'm thinking about that, the other thing that's important is if you're over the age of 50, your hormone levels are likely dropping. And that's the same for females as well as males. And what that means is we just recover a bit more slowly. So it'll take longer for muscle fibers to form. It'll take longer for fascia to form. It will take longer for them to strengthen up. So what I find is for my runners who are over the age of 50, they usually take a good 6 weeks, sometimes even 12 weeks, depending on how severe that calf strain was, to get back to full running. And when I say full running, it's slow running. You've got to be back to your full volume of slow running first before you attempt any speed sessions, because the calf will not have the capacity to cope with speed sessions if you're not able to do your full running volumes of slow running yet. Good. Hope that was useful. If you need more help with an injury, remember you're welcome to consult one of us via video call. Link to the website is in the description of this video. Take care.